Hello all, this is the Manufacturers Cup. Starting P3. So 10 laps, no pit stop, just go for it, hard tyres. So a little bit of an incident in the first corner as I recall. Yeah, someone comes in hot there. So bar hopping was a mover in the NXX, as was this driver in the Cayman, so a couple going off there. So bar hopping gets up the inside of myself. Copped a half-second penalty. I'm not too sure what that was for, but obviously a track limit thing. So Mitski was a mover through the pack. He ended up winning the race. Can't recall what happened to these two in front of me, but as we go through the race, we'll see what happens. Make that fifth. The early part of the race was pretty hectic. I was getting belted around a little bit. Anyway, we have a bit of a drag race with the Mercedes. Side by side, bit of door banging go on there. Mitski gets through. This guy went onto the dirt, copped his penalty. I thought he was going to hit me on the re-entry, but luckily we got away from it. So Luna Racer racing was P2, back to P4. So Miski's up to P3, bar hopping. And then you tell me his name, I'll call him AMG. Very close there between P2, P3. And I've got Luna Racing all over the back of me here. And they were throwing it in there where it wasn't required, so it's very much the inappropriate touching coming from Luna. Like I was pissed I dropped a spot from P3. He's probably more so from P2 to P5 at this point. So certain parts of the track he was stronger and I wasn't, and vice versa. So the gap does open in parts. And again, he just keeps throwing it in there, trying to knock me offline, all very subtly. It just wasn't once, it was probably a dozen times, I reckon. It's a little bit unnerving. You sort of tend to race to what's behind you rather than to the track ahead. So Miski's pulled away, Japanese driver in the AMG's got a good lead already. So I think my theory on pink cars is ringing true, that they're not usually the cleanest of races. Maybe that's a little bit unfair, but I'm sticking to that theory. And this driver was also a mover in the pack later in the race. And we've got 246 who I've raced against quite a few times. Good fair racer. I'm just going through the field here now. We've got Jace down the back. Yeah, no, an Extreme. So another touch there. Once Kilmaro goes past Luna, I'm not going to worry about them, and I think they're charging a little bit harder. So Kilmaro does get P5. After watching the results of this race, I think the Cayman looks like the go-to car for this category, certainly for this track. Mind you, the NSX looks like it's travelling pretty well here as well. Miski's really caught up to the leader here. He's going to be all over the back of him shortly. Like now. Looking pretty nimble in its movements. Able to take altered lines pretty well by the look of it. Sneaks up the inside but goes wide or closes the door a little bit. So obviously Miski must have had a bad qualifying to be back in the grid, to be able to storm up to P1 like that. I've picked up a penalty. Even looking at the replay, I can't see where I picked that up there, but Luna's got one as well. But sadly, Calmaro right behind me doesn't. The worst part about it was it felt like we were catching bar hopping. Don't know whether we'd do anything about it with sort of 3-4 laps to go, but it was nice to think that we're putting pressure on him. So serve my penalty. As expected, Calmaro gets by him. The two, P1, P2 have really pulled away here. So Calmaro hadn't really pulled away from myself and Luna too much. Looking at my lap times, I was probably 1.5 to 2 seconds off my best lap time there. Time's a little bit more, a little bit better in the 1:59s. This was bar hopping. My qualifying was a 1:58.5. Very close to track limits there, but got away with it. So Calmaro's caught up to bar hopping. So if anything, the times were fairly consistent, but in the high 1:59s, I guess you'd say. Oh, it's mid 1:59s. So look at the gap these two have got. They're over the bridge and into the tunnel before we even get to the bridge. So 7, 8, 9 and 10 all pretty close to each other. 11's a little bit off the back there. So back on the leaders, final lap here. Miski even looks fast, doesn't it? AMG driver's trying hard, he just got out in the sand a little bit there. Bar hopping made a big mistake there. Kilmaro's all over the back of him now. Mind you, I've got Luna all over the back of my car still. So probably close race really for a 10-lap race. So Miski's got this wrapped up, followed by the other Japanese driver. Bar hopping's still there. I think he's going to hang on to P3. Kilmaro will be P4. I'm in P5. Luna's had a bit of a wobble, so he's definitely going to be P6. And that's where we finished. So interesting race. Decided not to go again. Happy with the P5 in the end. The rest of the field filter home. Couple way up the back here. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Please give the video a like.